Hello, this is Master Luke Chen. Today we want to talk about the movement of the middle Dantian and the tongue. Now, when we move the middle Dantian, which actually most people, I'm telling you right now, I have a lot of students, before the pandemic, a lot of people came, and then the back, they move everywhere except the middle between the shoulder blades. That's the movement you should pay attention to. So that is the engine. From there you move. And then from there, and then you move the rest of the body. Or simultaneously. So for example, in my hands, the fingers, when I move the shoulder blade, and then I move the fingers. The fingers, every knuckle, have a sensation. So when I doing the push and pull, I'm thinking the fingers, but it's controlled by the back. So you say, oh, you can think so many things at the same time. Yes. Why? Because I use the release absorb rhythm, which is based on Pang Lao Shi's Kai He, release absorb, this rhythm. So I tap into that. Suppose the rhythm, the engine, when you're driving, boom, boom, boom. That's exactly the rhythm. And then I thinking about that, and then I turn my focus on the back, and then when you absorb, move, and then my mind is going through the fingers, the little finger, index finger, middle finger, the index finger and thumb, and then it's just a rhythm going on. Now, in order to do that, the shoulder must very relaxed. You cannot stuck. So the first thing you must create a circle with your shoulders. I mean, the circle controlled by your middle Dantian, the turn, and then of course, then when able to turn this, no problem, and then elbow, you need to turn the circle. Now, most people ignore the elbow, so they just turn, move, move. No good. So it's a circle. It's a circle. It's a circle. So it's not as nice as the shoulders because that's the bone. The socket bone there is easy to feel it, but the elbow is not easy to feel. But you must think about it turns the circle here. Once you pay attention to it, and then you can forget it because now it moves. When your shoulder moves, it moves. And then to your wrist, now the wrist, okay, and then the phalanges, the knuckles, and then it's very soft, but it's like a wave going through on the back. But if you don't move the back like a screwdriver in the back turning, then it won't happen. They all separate because the qi and blood is going through the whole body. You cannot stuck in somewhere. So it's moved very soft. So very soft. And your palm is protrude forward and back. It's a little bit, but it's just a sensation. It's going out and in. It's a sensation. So when I'm doing this, push and pull, and I'm thinking little finger, the ring finger, middle finger, and the index finger, thumb. So sometimes I think both, and so I pay attention to here, but mainly here the engine. Just like you're driving a car, the engine is the main thing, but the rest you must pay attention. So it's the same. So for beginners, the shoulders, you must have a circle there, and the elbow, and then the fingers. Now the tongue. Now some of you must now more advanced, but the tongue. The tongue is turn. Now in the 5 elements have the tongue movement, turn around, on the gum line, turn around, and so on. But they forgot to tell you, or the bottom of your tongue divided into 3 parts. The tip of the tongue, and then the blade of the tongue, and then the root of the tongue. Root, that's the root. The root of the tongue is and attach the bone there. So when we do the turn the tongue, actually, we need to pay attention to the bottom of the tongue, and turn. And so when we pay attention here, turn. And then of course this bottom is controlled by the back. I mean the middle Dantian, whole turn. So what I then is that, well, it's how nice it's a circle to the right, and is a circle to the left. Now it's not at the beginning not as important, or doesn't matter, because the rhythm is important. Absorb, you move your tongue according the release, absorb, release. You can do an opposite direction, or you continue to a certain motion. And then when you're doing that, and then your soft palate is control, soft palate, and your hard palate, and then soft palate. Soft palate is muscle. That can control is. Then you must pay attention. And when you move the head up, don't drop your jaw. Don't drop your jaw. But here, then you can open your cavity, the mouth cavity, the nose cavity, the nasal cavity. So let the chi, or if you are singing, then let the air going through your nose, let the air go through your mouth. The whole body vibrate. But you must create that strong area. I mean, you can't you can't just, oh, okay, I know it now, so bye-bye, I'm going to do something else. No, don't do yoga. You need to go back here. And then until you actually, you release up top, and then your tongue actually move with it in unison. Move, absorb, release. And then you feel your soft palate moving. And then you feel, now in Tai Chi and Qigong, with ho, 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 ho. It's the air, ho, going through your mouth, going through your nose. Ho, ho, ho. If you don't relax enough, if you don't bring the chi up like this, I see a lot of people don't move anything in the tongue, nothing here, just concentrate in practice, and then they forgot it. Every day we need to speak, we need to eat, so the chi has to go through, and then going in. But of course, the engine is the middle Dantian, the lower Dantian. We all know that, but you need to bring it so they can circulate. Circulate. So in the real Tai Chi, the inner door student, or those not practice outside, you see some people in the park, very soft and so on, don't make any noise. But however, in the actual practice, ho, 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 no, ho, 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 the Dantian, that is the diaphragm, up and down, and then bring the air going in and out as one piece. You can, but you must practice that. If you don't practice that, bring the tongue up, then you will never get it. Well, now it's, of course, you practice is something. It's nice to have, but you want to go better health, better potential, then you need to pay attention to your tongue. Now you say, how my tongue to move? To me, yeah, depends on how you train. Sometimes I twist my tongue. Or sometimes I just move around. So I twist my tongue because that will give your tongues. The tongue is a piece of muscle that going out only attached to one side. The other side is not attached. But in order to exercise that, then you need to move it. Now some people move the tongue like this. make it strong, or the lips make it strong. That is about the speech. That means you want to have a stronger speech and, and so on. You want to learn Mandarin, 普通话, then you need to learn that. But if you just want to keep young, I have a student or a master. She said, when she was 52, she said she was more prettier than when she was 25, because she does her tongue every single day. That is important. But as when I do the 6th direction, and then I incorporate the tongue, the rhythm. Now, that's not exact. I know some of you are getting, how to do this, how to do that. It's not exact, but as soon as you put on the release absorb, something is moving with your back. That is your tongue. Every day you move it, and then one day you realize, oh, you can move your tongue. And then when you pay more attention to your saw palate, and then the cavity, then you will really begin have a better voice, and then better health, because now you have a new area to exercise. That is especially respiratory illnesses. You have much stronger muscle to deal with it. And then of course digestion, your tongue, that's improve your digestion, enzymes going inside. It's really keep your mouth moist. And it's really, to me, that is real great discovery for me, that this is really part of the keeping young, part of the keeping health by move with the tongue. Now you're not wasting. If you do like me 3 times or 2 times, at least 2 times, sometimes 3 times, most of the time 3 times, or 6 direction every day. So 6 in 30 minutes, I move the tongue, I move everything. Then you, so you're not putting more time into doing the tongue, but you must able to move the shoulder blades first, I mean the middle dantian, and of course you need to the lower dantian. The lower dantian is the navel area. Don't get yourself a berry. Some people do it wrong. They especially ladies, women, afraid to relax the stomach, because with a good reason. Because if you don't do it right, then you have a beer belly without drinking beer, because you simply getting out. But you must keep the center line, and then your body will be straight, and then your belly will not protrude out. That is one of those key things, which today we don't talk too much about that. But again, that is the idea: the lower dantian, the middle dantian, and then the tongue. All right. So so I just want to share with you this thing right now. All right. So have a great day. I love you from Zhongshan.